Fresh FM.
So I'm the head coach on the show. Basically, I'm in charge of all of the acrobatics that happens on stage. I don't necessarily work directly with each and every acrobat. Some of them are quite independent. So I'll be there for the trainings. I'll be around if they need anything from me. And also we have this big group of Chinese acrobats. They have their own coach who travels with them, because I don't speak Chinese. So he does all the coaching for them. But then again, I'm there, so if they need anything from me, then I can help them with that. And I do work directly with some of the artists. Like, for example, I work with the tissue act who plays hands-on, and as well as the trampoline act.
How'd you get involved with this? How did you start out? You started in theater, dance, gymnastics, all
Gymnastics.
of the above?
I was a gymnast. I grew up in Windsor, and I competed gymnastics and tumbling. I was on the national team. It was at one of the Canadian National Championships that Cirque Du Soleil saw me there and asked me to come to an audition. So I did an audition in Montreal back in 1993. Started with them in 93. Started performing because we trained for a year. Started performing in 94, and I've been with the company ever since. So I've been with the company now for 18 years. 10 years performing and 8 coaching. With Dralion, there's that heavy influence of the Chinese. Like I said, we have a very large Chinese group. That's because that was one of the main themes, is the sort of Asian idea of what traditional circus acts are. So in Dralion, you're going to see some traditional Chinese circus acts blended with some, let's say, non-traditional circus acts that would be more of the Western side. So that's the idea with the Dralion, is the combination of the dragon and the lion representing the East and the West.
Rock and roll.
Actually, something that's really nice with the Dralion is the fact that there are 4 main characters who represent the elements of fire, air, water, and earth. And then they're easy to spot because they each have their own color. And then when they're on stage, they'll be on stage with their groups of people. So when the water element is there with the water people, you know, it's all in green, and then the air is blue, and the earth is brown, and the fire is red. So that's really easy to see, and it's easy to follow that. And then there are the 2 main singers, and they're kind of like gods or demigods or very powerful spirits, let's say. And they're even above the 4 elements. And we also have little Buddha, which is kind of a transition between the gods and the elements. She also keeps the time. She's often with an hourglass, along with another main character who's Kala, and he's really in charge of, he's kind of like the 5th element who deals with time.
Maybe go over the creative process on how you guys come up with even like certain moves. Where does that come from? Is it just kind of lay it out there and try it out, or what goes on there?
Sometimes the creative process can take quite a bit of time. Generally, it's 1 to 2 years. And even before anything starts with acrobats in the studio, there'll be concepting teams. So a team of conceptors who'll sit around and they'll brainstorm and they'll talk about, okay, what do we want to do with this show? What's going to be the theme? What are going to be the colors? What's going to be the stage, the makeup? What are the characters going to be? So all of that can take a lot of time, just preparing and, like I said, brainstorming and thinking about what they're going to do and collaborating together. Then the artist will come in. And then they'll have about a year-long process in Montreal, experimenting, putting the show together. That's where they're going to do the exploring of, okay, maybe they want to do a new act. So if they want to do a new act, which no one's ever done before, then you're going to bring the acrobats in. They're going to say, okay, let's see what we can do with this act. We have an idea in our mind. We think we can do this. Let's see if it's going to work. So that's a process as well. So there's the artistic process, there's the acrobatic process, and all of that comes together.
Fresh